Hey guys, this is the in-depth video to Illawalla, also known as the Marine Solo. The tune can be broken down into 4 parts. I'm going to play the whole thing at the end, so if you just want to hear that, skip to the timestamp in the description. Before I start, make sure to take note which hands I'm using and where, as some parts of this tune can get quite complicated, and using the right hands will help with its flow. After each section, I'll leave a small pause for you to practice with. If you need, just pause the videos to practice then. So the first part of 4 sounds like this. So each of these parts can be broken down into 4 smaller sections. For example, the first section of the first part, as you just heard, sounds like this. So now try and practice that. The second section sounds like this. So now when you play them together, now you try them together. Now the third section is identical to the first section, so now try and put them all together. It sounds like this. Now the fourth section is a bit shorter and it repeats at the end of each part. So make sure to learn this bit really well. And it sounds like this. So that's it. Now we need to put them all together and it'll sound like this. And that's it, that's part 1. Before I start the next part, I'd recommend learning the first part as well as you can, as they can get muddled up really easily when you play. If you need to, pause now and continue when you're ready. The second part sounds like this. So just like the first part, it can also be broken down into 4 sections. The first sounds like this. That roll at the end, it can be a bit of a pain to play because of where it is. I recommend just using your left hand here because you'll need your right to come in really quickly afterwards. So again, if you need practice on rolling, go back to the how to roll video, that's on my channel. But at the end, it should sound like this. So when it all goes together, it should be like this. I know it doesn't sound great on the drum pad, but it sounds a lot better on the snare drum, so just don't worry about that. So the second part of this, so the second section, is actually identical to the first section of the first part that we played. It's this. So that should be fairly easy. So together they sound like this. Okay, now your turn. So the third section is just a repeat of the first section. So I'll play them all together here and then you try. Now your turn. Okay, so as I said earlier, the fourth section is going to be the same as the fourth section in the first part. So skip back to that if you need to go over that specifically. So now I'll go through the whole thing. And that's it. Practice that and then move on to the next part. Now, the third part is, in my opinion, by far the hardest, as there's some very intricate beats that need to be played well, otherwise it can sound really messy. Rather than 4 parts, however, I'd recommend learning this with 3, as the middle section kind of blends together and it's really tricky to learn separately. So the whole of the third part should sound like this. So the first section will sound like this. Now try playing that. Now the middle section is obviously the trickiest there, and it might take a bit of time to learn, especially with the different hand movements. So learn this well and then move on. Now your turn. Okay, now the last section, just like with sections 1 and 2, they all share the same ending. So now all together, it sounds like this. Now, the fourth part focuses more on dynamics. On a snare drum, you'll do this by playing quiet parts near the bottom edge and the louder parts near the middle of the drum, like this. You should be able to hear the difference there. It's not too noticeable on a drum pad, but on a snare drum, it makes a big difference. So the fourth part sounds like this. So just like with parts 1 and 2, this is split up into 4 sections, with 1 and 3 being the same. Just a reminder to take note of the dynamics when you listen to this. So the first part sounds like this. Not too difficult. Now's your turn. So section 2 can be a bit tricky, so make sure to get it down before you move on. It sounds like this. Okay, now try that. So, as I said before, section 3 is the exact same as section 1, so here is all of it together so far. And finally, the last section is, again, a repeat of the last section from the other parts. So all together, section 4 should sound like this. So now you've done all 4 parts, it's time to put them together. So the whole tune should sound like this. And that's it, well done. That's the whole tune. So, as I said before, this is one of the harder tunes, so don't worry if it does take you a while to get, but you can use this video as well as the video of just me playing linked in the description to learn this. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll answer them as soon as I can. But that's it, thank you for watching.